Star 94. And love is in the air.
Yes.
Okay. And let me tell you, I have got. Oh, I'm so excited about this. Oh, because look, a girl needs some help. Okay. I had to bring in a relationship expert. And, I love bringing fabulous people in. And when I tell you, I went down to go pick her up in the lobby. Oh, I already seen her picture, but to see you in person, Miss Chanel Nicole Scott, you are absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And you are our relationship expert today.
Okay.
So let me go down this. Okay, you are a prominent figure in the dating and relationship space. Hold on, you have a book out, Relationship Matters, and you are the host of Relationships Matters, the podcast.
Yes.
Oh, and Ministry.
Yes.
Live.
Yes.
Honey, okay, now if you can't help me, I don't know. If you can't help some of these people out here,
Listen.
I don't know. Is there any help? Woo, dating.
Yes. So it's not getting any better, as we spoke about offline. As we get older, it gets worse. So what we have to do is we have to change our approach, right? We no longer can rely on other people to do this for us, right? We got to raise our standards, right? We got to set some boundaries. And we have to protect our energy. And we have to be cautious about who we allow in our space. And before we can even get into the whole idea of allowing someone in our space, we have to know who we are. We have to tap into purpose. People are going to disappoint you every single day. But if you know who you are, then it won't affect you like it typically does when you don't know who you are, when you lose yourself in certain scenarios, right? So when you're confident in your purpose, you'll be like, okay, if you don't like me, I like me. I like me, and moving on to the next person. You don't overstay your welcome, right? The moment you see red flags, the moment you see things that don't jive with you, that is the time to exit stage left. We're not going to stay and get caught up emotionally. We're not going to miss our cue and then we can't leave. I can't let go. I let too much time. No, we're not doing that no more. We're not going to wait. We're not going to tolerate something that we typically wouldn't tolerate. We're not doing that either, right? And we're going to vet these people. We're going to vet them. We're going to give them time to show us exactly who they are. And that goes both ways, because I'm not partial to the women, but I have a heart for women. But we're going to allow people to show us exactly who they are, and then we're going to make our decision based on that. And our needs are important. Like, no longer is it about, it's about what he wants. No, it's about what I want. Yes. It's about what I want. It's my life, just like you got your life. They have their own lives. They have their journey. The men, they have their own lives. They have their own paths. They have things that they're in search of, just like we are. But we are responsible for us. So if it doesn't align with what I want, then I'm not doing it. If it ain't what I want, I'm not doing it.
We're not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
And look, before we even dig even further, I want to do a lightning round. This is what I like to call my this or that Valentine's Day Love Edition.
Yes.
So, Godiva or chocolate-covered strawberries?
Chocolate-covered strawberries.
Home-cooked meal or elegant restaurant?
Elegant restaurant.
Ride-share pickup or a date pickup, like in his regular car?
What kind of regular car?
I guess it all depends. It all depends.
Do he need me to drive? Do you need me to drive? Because if you do, we can work that out. But what kind of car are we talking about?
Ooh,
then we can make that decision.
I don't know. It might be a Prius.
No, I'm 6'1", baby. I ain't getting in no Prius. And that's okay. And that's okay, by the way. But go ahead.
Flannels or lace?
Flannels.
Okay.
I'm a regular girl.
Are we doing roller skating date or a movie date?
Movie date.
Ooh.
I don't want to fall in front of them.
Okay. Would you prefer a card or extra long text message with emojis?
Ooh. I'll take the text message because it's personable, right? It's from his heart and not just a card where it was pre-written by somebody else.
I like that.
Yeah.
Gift or gift card?
I'll take a gift.
Nice.
Take a gift.
So much to unpack, let me tell you, sis, because it is hard out here in these dating streets.
It is extremely difficult in these dating streets. And they say it's not a thing, but there is a thing of dating in Atlanta that is a pandemic, epidemic, whatever you want to call it, demic. It's a problem.
It is a whole problem.
It is a problem. And I know that there are dating issues all over this world. Don't get me wrong, but it is more prevalent here.
Yes, I was told, oh, we got to share now.
No, we don't share. And see, so that is where, and you may have a longer shelf life. Don't get me wrong. If you want to wait for what you really want, right, you got to get good with you, know what you want, and stick to that. Stick to the script. Don't change because somebody else is changing, and you may have to wait a little longer. But no, this is where we talk about our purpose and knowing who we are. When you know your self-worth, you're not going to settle and share with anybody. Can you imagine sharing? Like, if you into that, that's your thing, then that's your thing. But if you're not into that, you don't have to settle for that. You just wait your turn. That's all.
Let's talk about these dating apps, because to me,
girl, bye.
It's like shopping on Amazon.
Yes. So people ask me about these whole dating apps, and so I personally do not subscribe to the whole idea of dating apps, because I have had situations where you swipe and you find an attractive man, and then when you meet him in person, his disposition is completely different. You're like, that's not even the same person. Vice versa, I have met men that I may not have thought was physically attractive, but had a conversation, was like, oh, I'll give you a chance, right? Because now you've gotten to know him, right? You've gotten to know his character, his goals, his values, things that are attractive to you, not according to society standards. See, when we swap that app, that's based on society standards, what look good to the natural eye. But when you get to know that person internally, then it's something else that exudes from the inside out, because we're going to age, we're going to get older. So that's why it's important to get to know that person's character, his personality, who he is, his values, his goals, his likes, his dislikes, and then you can make a better decision for yourself. There have been times where I have met a man who was extremely attractive, and the moment he opened his mouth, I was like, please don't talk. Please don't talk. Just let me look at you. Because when you talk, you mess it up.
Oh, girl. Oh, that part here in Atlanta, let me tell you, just because you got muscles means nothing.
Nothing. Because you know what? These beautiful men, I am finding the ones that are extremely attractive, they have low self-esteem. They don't know. So then you got to deal with that. And then this is another thing that I have discovered. The more attractive you are, the more baggage you have, because you've had more opportunities, right?
Yes.
And so for people to shit on you.
It's like,
Excuse
you know what?
language.
I'm separating. And then what happens? Then I really separate. And you're just trying to see if you still got it.
Right, absolutely.
Go home with that. Get out of here.
And then you got to look. Nowadays, I saw this video on Instagram. This lady was like, you got to do several searches. She's like, you need to search the public records database to find out if that man is married. She said to search Amazon and Target baby registry to see if he got a baby on the way.
Oh,
she did.
That's a good
and then
tip
you got to search the jail record to see if they are a criminal. Oh, and the SA record to see if he's a sexual predator.
Oh, Lord.
You don't never think about that.
The registry? I never thought about that.
She said you have to search those when you are getting to know someone to find out who these people really are. I never in my life searched the SA public registry. I never have.
Right.
But now we see it more prevalent on social media. You see it because we have more exposure, obviously, to things that are happening in the world. So we see more stuff. But that's a thing. You got to search all those. But I know she right about that baby registry. And I know she right about that public records to see if he married, if he divorced, or if he's separated.
Right.
We need to know all that.
Because people will tell you,
They'll
no,
lie.
I'm not married. Like there's a situation. I'm not married. I'm going to, we just had a ceremony and y'all shacked up.
That's
kids,
the thing.
families.
The people ain't even getting the marriage license no more. They just going through the motions of having someone say the vows over them, but it ain't even legal. It's not even real.
So what do you think about that?
That's BS. He playing with you, sis. If he can't commit to you, if you can't make that thing relevant in the eyes of the law, He ain't married to you. He can still leave. He can leave when he wants to anyway, regardless of whether he's married or not. But he ain't really committed. It's fake.
They staying for the kids, right?
Yeah, please. For the kids. Are you serious? Don't stay with me for the kids, because I don't want my kids being raised up around that dysfunction. They pick up stuff.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's best for you to leave.
Dysfunction all the way around. And man, I'm telling you, this whole digital age, some of them, they don't like social media because they're getting caught.
No, you better do a FaceTime. Oh yeah, that too. Oh, y'all, you pulling all the stuff out of me, because I be in, I ain't gonna say I be, because I'm not in these streets, but I have these weird experiences, and I think God allows me to, just so I can come back and report to y'all. The new thing, when you are talking to someone that is married, pay attention. When you want, like, he's supposed to be single, but he married, he will communicate with you through Facebook Messenger. That's where the call will come through. It won't come through on the phone where somebody could check your phone bill. It's coming through Facebook or Instagram. They ain't nobody thinking about checking no phone record on Instagram or Facebook. If somebody constantly is calling you on that, check that. Check that he's hiding something.
Ooh, that WhatsApp.
Yeah, exactly. It's so much stuff. It was one more thing as we talk. I'm gonna tell you something else I learned too. I got it. It's like on the tip of my tongue. I'm gonna get it for you though. Yes.
Ooh,
it's some crazy stuff.
It
going
really
on here
is.
today.
Have you ever been catfished?
I've never been catfished. Now, I've never been catfished. The person was who he said he was, but this is the thing. So I'm not into dating apps. I'm into dating, but not into dating apps. But there was a time I was seeing this gentleman, and this was some years ago, we lived in the same community. And I was driving down the street, and I saw someone at his home, because you can see straight through the house. I look, the window open, I'm look. And there was a young lady in there. And so I said, you know what, I'm not even going to address it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to meet somebody. And I went on the app. I think it may have been Bumble that I did. And I met about 5 gentlemen, and I met each of them in person. And when I say each of them was who they said they were, but who they say they are on paper and who that person is in real life are 2 total different people. It was this one guy, he was beautiful on the app. When we met up, he and this is no judgment, but he said he was a crack baby. And he told me his history off the bat. You may want to save that, guys. Not saying that it's not relevant, because it is, but that's not something you want to share on the first date when you're getting to know someone, especially if that's not your life anymore. That was however many years ago. Keep that to yourself until you establish a foundation and you can trust this person and they are deserving of that type of information. So automatically when he put that out, I'm already judging you. Then he wanted to know if there was a liquor store around. I'm like, what in the world? And then he told me his whole sob story about how he pulled himself up by his own bootstraps and how he has this business. And it was not a good encounter. And I'm sitting here looking like, what in the world? I look at the picture, I look at you, I look at the picture, I look at you. No. So that's when I knew then, that particular encounter, that I wasn't going to do the whole dating app thing. I had another gentleman who I met up with. He was like, okay, enough talking. When we going to make out? So that's why I'm just,
girl. Let me tell. Someone told me that I could have a whole drawer at their house, and that's how I would know that they weren't married or had anybody else. And mind you, this was like the first conversation, maybe the second conversation.
So now you love bombing me because you don't even know me.
I was like, okay,
yeah.
That's it. I'm not calling. Then that's why I'm like you. I don't do those crazy apps.
Yeah. You see, because my thing is, the type of man that I want, he's purposeful. He don't have time to be on no apps. He don't have to, because he's just so together. He has charisma. He has personality. He's probably single because more than likely he's in between. That's when you got to catch him, when he's in between, right? He's out of this, but he hasn't made the next connection. And he's trying to, just give himself some space to kind of just, heal or whatever. That's where you got to catch him. That, unfortunately, but that is, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, but Lord have mercy, help me God.
We're talking about catching them.
Yeah,
when they're in between.
Yeah, no, the dating thing, the type of men they're not on the type of men that I'm attracted to, not even on social media for real. They may have a profile, they may or may not have a profile, but they're just too busy. They're too purposeful. They're chasing vision. You know what I'm saying? I'm on social media because of my businesses. If it wasn't for my businesses, then I wouldn't even be on social media. When I think about the things that people post, you can never look at my social media and figure out what's going on in my personal life. It's just not there.
That part.
It's just not. So that when I think about the type of man, and then nowadays people like to go public on social media, tell all their business and stuff. I ain't with that. So like that's not the type of man that I'm looking for. Yeah.
Look, that's that new age where you gotta show everything about everything, and sometimes you just gotta keep certain things.
You gotta keep things to yourself. Why are you putting your personal business out there for people? Don't you know we spiritual? There are spirits out there. People are lurking on your page. They seeing what you're, especially women, when you sharing your problems and stuff. There are men lurking on your page, and they picking up your weaknesses, and they approaching you based on what you are telling them.
Exactly.
That's why you keep getting got.
Right.
You telling too much information on social media, and they're plotting against you, ma'am.
Man, let's talk about getting got, because there has been a time where I was ghosted. Actually, a couple of times.
Yeah.
These suckers talking about, we're gonna do this, that, and the other, and what happened? Crickets, nothing. Have you ever been ghosted?
I have never been ghosted in the sense of like I have not had my phone call returned in a couple of days for one reason or the other. And then they come back around with, but that ain't happened to me in some years, because you do that to me today and it's a wrap. Like, we're not even playing those games. I'm gonna block you. I'm gonna block you. But you know what the thing is, y'all? Because it's so difficult to have a relationship, we tend to tolerate things that we shouldn't. Right? So we'll give people chance after chance. We'll say, well, you know what? We just got to pick the shit that we're going to deal with. Like, because everybody come with it. So, but that's not the case. If there are things that person is showing you in the very beginning, pay attention to that. And don't feel like that's your only option. If that person you're not vibing with that person, or if it doesn't align with what you want and what you desire in your relationship, then let that go, because you're going to get more of that if you continue. If you continue, you're teaching that person how to treat you. From the very moment you say hello, you are teaching him how to treat you. So if you tolerate those types of things, then that's what you can expect. If you put your foot down, he's going to either decide, I can deal with this, or this is not something I want to deal with, and then let him go if he doesn't. And that's okay.
You know, as we talk and you have so much knowledge now, I gotta ask you now, let's go back some years. Has it always been like that? I mean, I feel like we learn along the way.
You know what? I can't put the whole blame on the men in terms of my personal experiences. I was celibate for 8 years, and I had to do the work, and still doing the work. Don't get me wrong, but I had to be accountable for what I allowed. I'm the one that overstays her welcome. That's why that's one of my principles. Don't do that, because you will lose years off of your life, precious years that you could have said, you know what, this person isn't my person. Let me move on and meet someone else new. When you're young, but then I'm 50. Right? Single, no
good.
children. Right? And I appreciate that, but I think about, what if I had made better decisions? What if I didn't waste so much time on this one person? Where would I be in terms of my relationship? Now, I know this is my God-given assignment, and this is what God wanted for my life, so that I can report back to my folk. But there are certain desires that I have as a woman. You know, I desire a relationship. I want to be in a relationship, right? But I think about the bad decisions that I made when I was younger. Like, wow, what if I had done differently? I tolerated a lot of different things from people that I never should have. And it had everything to do with the fact that I didn't know who I was. I didn't know my God-given identity. Yes, I had a job. Yes, I made good money. Yes, I drove a nice car and lived in a nice home. But I had no clue who Chanel was. I had no clue of my self-value. And I hinged my value on other people. So I would attract, I'm 6'1". You see me walking through the door. So I attract athletes. And so I place more value on them than I did myself. And I saw the lifestyle, and I'm like, well, I tried to be like everybody else try to, you know what, because a lot of those girls, they tolerate to deal with it as long as they can get the bag. They just deal with it. And I tried that. That doesn't work for me. I'm cut from a different cloth, right? It never worked for me. It just disturbed my spirit too much. And I end up acting out, or what they call crazy, because I don't play those games. Don't play with me.
What kind of things did you tolerate?
Not, like the cheating, like, you knowing that there were other women, or they were dealing with other women. I would say mainly it would be other women, and that lifestyle, they have a lot of women, that's no secret. And so I would try to be okay with it. I would try to tell myself that, oh, that's nothing, it's just, he's just, doing what he want to do, but he's not serious about her. He's committed to me. But that was a lie. That was a lie. And it had everything. And then I would internalize it or personalize it and make it about me, when it had nothing to do with me, but everything to do with him and who he was and how empty he was and what he was trying to fulfill by sleeping with all these different women.